call the May 4th, 2023 Wall City Council meeting to order. Carolyn, would you read roll, please?
Welsh,
Here.
Morgan,
Here.
Stan Anderson,
Here.
Houston,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Hawk,
Here.
Mike Anderson.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Pledge of allegiance. Yeah, you lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have any order of business for emergencies?
No,
Do we have any attendance on Zoom?
we do not.
Okay. We call for a motion to approve the agenda.
So
Kelly's moved.
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, thank you. I'll grab it in a minute, so I don't go there. Okay, so, all right. So our agenda is approved and Sergeant Harkins, welcome.
Well, good evening. We have a couple things. We began manning our office across the street on the first and third Wednesdays of the month. From 1 to 3. So we taking walk-ins for fingerprinting and things like that, or just general conversation. So we can do that because we have extra manning on Wednesdays. And then the satellite office is open as well, so for one of those Wednesdays, so the traffic will be good. So it'll be nice, just make us more accessible. I know some people aren't sometimes comfortable going through dispatch. So it'll just make it easier.
Perfect.
What was them days?
First and third Wednesdays of the month, from 1 to 3. And then also Deputy Lindquist is leaving us at the end of the month. He's been chosen to be our new Keystone deputy. So we will be looking to fill his spot here, probably get an announcement out next week for applicants for that spot, so internal already.
Okay.
And that's all I have, so. Any questions for me?
Any
Does he
questions?
not like Wall?
Thank you.
Well, he was actually in a 1-year spot, so his time was up, but he really wanted that Keystone spot as well. He likes the small town.
In the hills. Aren't we about the same size as Keystone?
A little bigger.
Must be the hills.
Yeah, maybe 3 more trees.
That a bit more flat.
And I understand that National Law Enforcement Appreciation Week is next week.
I believe it is, yeah.
And I just want to say thank you to you and your department and your deputies for taking such great care of Wall.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Okay, have a good rest
Have
of
a
the
great
day.
evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, do we have any conflict of interest that needs to be addressed? Rick, did you look at the agenda?
I did.
Okay. Are you gonna have?
I will address it when the item comes up. I'm very aware of it.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Okay, the consent agenda contains the minutes of the last city council meeting, as well as the library meeting, the claims from City of Wall, the fire department, library, and an ambulance update, and the budget report, as well as our on-call schedule, the water usage, sales tax report, and cash and money market balance, okay? And so with that being said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving to item 10. That is the Hanson subdivision change order number 4. And that amount is for $5,112.74. Your documents were in your packet.
I move to approve.
Okay, it's been moved to approve.
Obviously, KLJ has signed it, so they've approved everything.
Yes, and this is the final quantity adjustment change order for it, and they definitely were down here. Okay, so it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Dan seconded. Any further comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. That brings us then to the pay request number 5. And this is the final payment on that subdivision is $74,465. And they were down and did a construction field report. Garrett represented the city at that particular meeting. And then they have also a contract for me to sign as far as final review and acceptance. So Garrett, do you have any comments about this?
Everything looked really good out there. There was just a few little touch-up things that they were gonna finish up and move some dirt around, but other than that, everything looks real good. They even fixed the valve box that I hit when I was moving stone. So.
And it actually looks great, and the extra effort you did to water it down when they put that grass down in the wind certainly paid off. Okay, so with that being said, do I have a motion to approve the final pay request on the Hanson subdivision?
Move to approve.
Rick moved,
Second.
Kelly seconded. Any other comments or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, that brings us then to visitors,
Which there was.
which there is none. And so we have an agenda request tonight. Dar Hare, would you like to step to the podium, please? Good evening.
Evening, how are you guys?
Good.
Mine's pretty short, and sweet. I just wanted to catch before the Public Works painted the curbs over off Glen and Sixth. I would like you guys to take into consideration painting maybe 2 or 3 car lengths down both sides. Truck traffic that turns in on that street is significant. And when they park on both sides of the streets, then it's literally, it's one vehicle traffic through there. And if we don't have the ability to come up and move off to the sides, then you can't get through. So I know myself, I haven't had any, I've driven through there, but my wife's had to back up because trucks were turning or cars were coming and it was 1-lane traffic. So she's had to back up, you know, half a block back just so people can get through. So we need to nip that in the bud before the summer because I do think it's gonna be really popular right there. But there is no parking plan there, right? I assume that they didn't submit a parking plan to the city when they built that. Which is generally part of a commercial building permit request, is the possibility of anything over $1,000 submit a parking plan. But I assume they don't have one, so I'm assuming just street parking is the only parking that they're gonna use. So if it's popular, which I think it will be, it's gonna be pretty congested right there. So anyways, that's all I was asking. Hopefully you guys will take that into consideration. Paint down both sides, whatever you feel is just, you know, but I do know if it's not there, they're not gonna make it, and then the trucks are gonna have to go down and go around like the Lutheran church or the Methodist church so that they can come straight. And those people aren't gonna like that. So,
Okay, so you're just requesting maybe 2 or 3 links more so than.
yeah, I think,
Because
you know, the north side of the road, it's already probably 40 feet, like if you kind of look, because it goes, they have an approach right off the corner, and then it goes at least another 12 feet. I think the guy goes a little bit further than that, about to where he parks his car right now. And comes similar to that on the other side. But at least that way, 2 cars can be pulled off to the side up there if somebody's turning in. But it will get busy. I mean, I saw Pennington County work pickup run that stop sign today.
Well, you know,
It's just, it's nuts right there. I don't think you can put a big enough stop sign there. So,
somebody commented to me, one of the citizens, that watching that intersection with the beautiful giant jackalope, people blow through the stop sign looking at the jackalope.
yeah,
It-
they might even just creep through it, but they're completely unaware of what's going on around them.
Yeah.
You know, so it just, I think we gotta give ourselves room, especially my son's a young driver, so I wanna make sure. He's almost been hit there, but he's learned how you make sure that the people coming are gonna stop, so. It's life lessons, but
Okay.
I think we need to take some special concern when you guys talk about that, maybe go out with Garrett. Come up with a good plan
Okay, all
and
right,
put some paint on it.
okay,
Well, I kind of assumed that they would have some parking on site, but now I see they changed their building size, double the size of their little,
Yeah,
little building, so they basically got no parking.
yeah, I would definitely just. From experience, and maybe I shouldn't say this, so I should throw in a commercial building permit, but in the future. Go back to the engineered plans, architect stamp plans, cost me an extra $1,500 for my shop. To get it, have an architect. So, I mean, that's stuff going forward. Should take that in consideration and get an actual plot plan, not a rapid map printout with a hand drawing. So then everybody has a better idea of what you're actually gonna see on the site. Cause it's hard for anybody to get a vision if you don't actually put it to scale and see it. Cause if you just say a mobile shed, I mean, I think, Murphy Shed.
Are we keeping the bus there? Or will, when the bus moves, we'll open up some, you want the bus there? Oh, I'm like,
No,
but when the bus moves, will that open up some parking opportunities? No,
there's no approach there.
no, oh.
I do think everything that they're building is really nice. Personally, I think it all looks great. I just think that. As far as. Like parking and such. If any of you guys read a commercial building permit application. Any commercial building permit over $1,000. Could require a site plan, a parking plan. I know there's a couple other things there, but you know what I mean, like. I assume you guys are using parking like you got. So like you look across the street, they got a couple of structures there, I think rentals, and then they're gonna have a catering. And there's parking for 25 vehicles over there. So, sorry, right. Yeah, I was just trying to. Well,
Cause they
but
also,
you might get some jackalope parking.
Yeah,
That doesn't eat out of your place.
yeah, definitely.
Anyways,
And talk about painting, like, is there any talk about like painting crosswalk? Like skids going across?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Cool.
well, I know, it's so sure that it would be good to paint some yellow markings all the way up Glen Street. Because you got the motels up there, and there's trucks parking there too, and there's driveways and then.
yeah, cause that hasn't been done since the chip seal debacle of 21, right?
The painting curve.
No, the paint in the center line.
Oh, yeah. Then usually I don't know who does it. Like I wake up in the morning and it's there, so. I don't know if the state does it or the county does it or.
Almost be nice to put about 20 yellow painted strips before the stop signs. Maybe they'd look at what the hell's on the road. Maybe.
They're not
but
looking at
we've
the
had-
road.
we've-
There's been stop ahead, there's been, rumble strips, there's been stop bars. I mean,
And yeah, it's not a new problem to the
No.
corner.
Yeah.
It's not because of jackalopes there, it always got,
It's been there.
I mean, I'm sure it's not.
So speaking of the jackalope, I see there's a big old bus too, is that gonna be a permanent fixture? Do we know, or have they?
I'm sure that guy's living in there.
I was told we were making living quarters in the east section.
Maybe they are.
Right.
They got the water, turned on the water the other day.
I don't know.
The facade looks good. Thank goodness, that's kind of cleaned up. Looks like Cosmos though.
okay,
It's supposed to be rested.
right, thank you, Dar. Okay, I don't see our next agenda item here at the moment. So we'll move on. And Preston,
Thank you guys all have the written request submitted to you guys for moving dirt out there at the airport. For the last meeting request, and I guess I'm just here to answer any questions or concerns on that matter.
So in the end, whatever you do, you'll kind of put it back the way it was when you're done and.
Yeah, except for, I wrote in there where the current grass, runway is before it gets to the fence. Once I get that done, I'm just, it really just dips off and I'm gonna level it out and then get gravel road back into the well house there. That I wouldn't disturb. I'm just gonna leave it level, to the fence line, but the economic development property, I would just take back to flat. Just decrown the strip and replant it, so.
Okay, any other questions?
No, sounds good to me.
Do I have-
move to approve.
Okay, Stan has moved to,
Second.
and Jerry has seconded. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There is one thing, Preston, I need your help on.
Yeah.
And we learned this morning at that CIS event that the governor was actually wanting to fly in today for that event until she found out her airport was closed.
Too bad you don't have that cross runway in it that you said.
It has a big all X's on it and it will remain big X's until October, hopefully sooner if they get it done.
Oh,
You could have
Mayor
shut down,
told her September.
I did tell her something.
It looks like they're making good progress. I don't see why it's not gonna be.
you could have shut down Fourth Avenue.
There you go.
So we just need your help to come up with an event to invite her back so she can land.
When the runway gets opened up, I'd say host a pancake breakfast because that's what airports all over the country do is they just have pancake breakfast and everyone flies in.
Awesome.
And, grabs breakfast and heads on it.
Okay,
Great idea.
that sounds awesome. All right, thank you, Preston.
Fire department.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, do we have anyone that would like to give any public comments today? Okay, seeing none. That brings us to our building permit, and that is to move in a storage shed. Does anyone have any questions regarding this residential building permit?
So this is but for the fireworks, so.
Yes.
No.
No.
Where is it?
Oh.
Kevin White?
Kevin White.
Oh,
It's in the
right.
great-
Sorry.
That's 521 Buffalo Street,
Gotcha.
which is in the Houston Trailer Court.
Rick's fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Move to approve.
okay, so Dan has moved,
Second.
Jerry seconded. Any other questions, concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that does bring us to the fireworks All-American sales, moving in a temporary building, an 8x40. He did explore and he will be outside the 50 feet. So, any thoughts?
The only comment I would say, I know when they had that front trailer, they had a lot of flags and everything very close to the road. If they come in, just make sure that it's not close to because that's right in towards the interstate. That they just keep it back a ways. I don't know what they have. I would assume they have some kind of fireworks stand flag.
Well,
But
I kind of agree with that, man, especially in light of what Dar brought up. I mean, that drawing we get is, we have no idea where they're gonna set that, trailer or what have you. Any idea what it's gonna look like?
What's on the back? Yeah,
Well, yeah,
okay,
but that, I put the other way, the first way to, on it. I mean, we have no idea where it's really gonna be situated. It's commercial property and, we have no idea what the trailer looks like. We know the size, but.
That's the shed that caught on fire. Right there. Not too long ago.
Did we have an issue with parking up there when the flag guys was there, that they were? Or were they not allowed to use that area for parking? For some reason.
No,
was
I think
thinking
the
that-
parking issue was when you had nothing there and
People were stopping on the
people
road.
were stopping on the road and then Wounded Knee
Okay,
owner was upset.
okay.
So,
Well, I don't wanna hold them up, but I think we should at least have it subject to Garrett that we're.
I was just gonna
Was
say,
that on?
Or something.
Garrett, would you be able to, give him some guidance and encourage him to move?
Yeah, if there is agreed to setback. What is it supposed to be setback?
25.
25 feet?
Well, yeah, like on commercial, though, you can put it right to the line, but can I, if somebody has it?
I guess I
Yes.
just get it.
Yeah.
and do the enough aspects to it.
What part was it? Back here it is. Okay, so yeah, we went up there and measured, so this would be the on-ramp. Right here. And I went and measured back 25 feet and there was still like 10 or 15 feet that he could go back towards that. That shed there too.
How about next to the road?
That I don't know how close he'd be, but
Well, he said that line there is like that metal guardrail.
yeah,
It's right there.
But we don't know if that's 10 feet or 5 feet or.
yeah, we don't.
Can you give him some guidance then and
Yeah.
encourage him to move?
Yeah, I can encourage him to scoot it all the way
Yep,
far to the
Absolutely.
south and you want it in farther away from the road too, or not?
I did think that would be good. Cause it's still gonna be plenty visible. I don't know what would make sense, 15 feet or,
If we can this way,
yeah.
is,
It is very busy with the traffic coming out of all the gas stations and common sense. If it's gonna block the view, the further to the south it would be, it's gonna help them.
yeah, it would be back far enough that it wouldn't, I don't think here, you know, it'll be quite a ways back there.
he's got 2 driveways there and they could pull actually in there.
Yeah, there's parking here and
Yeah.
parking here.
Is he
So they
letting
can-
him use both parking areas?
I don't know, but I'm sure he would.
Is he opening this year?
And it's
No.
only for, what's
Yeah,
the
he's
length
gonna
of
use it
time?
This year, but only
Oh.
for. like,
Does it say how long he's gonna be there?
I think he said the 1st of June till July 5th.
And then they'll have to get it cleared out and then he'll move it off of there. I mean,
Okay.
they'll only be selling though from. I wanna say he said June 25th till July.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just
10 days.
like 10 days.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve?
Hold on, so can I suggest this way too?
Oh, yes,
East and
absolutely.
west?
Yes,
That
Yeah,
would make,
I think
that would
that
make
would-
more parking,
yep,
but you're okay if he doesn't, and then this is just as far back as possible.
okay.
Because in addition, you don't say anything about signs, but you can bet he's gonna bring banners and just assume.
Yeah, yeah, we'll just keep those away from the road
and.
in the corner.
Which they should be approved as well, so.
Okay. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, any further comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, that brings us then to the sign that dolls are asking for a permit that would replace the wall motel sign.
So I showed you a picture that they presented. When they asked for building the jackalope, you know, at the location of where that sign is from there, and they just wanted to change the logo, but when he emailed it to me, I could not get it to print. When I tried to print it, it only printed half of it. I don't know how that works. So I sent the emails to you guys. You could see them that way.
But it's still the same size as what the one with them.
It's bigger.
a little bit bigger.
It's 8 foot by 16 instead of 4 by 16.
4 by
8, he's doubled it.
8 to 16.
I measured the sign at 16 feet.
Yeah, I measured it a while back too, and it's 16 foot.
In width, you're talking.
Yep.
So that first application, he didn't think it was that big, and so that's why I wrote that he was amending it, but it'll be on that. On those poles, or, you know, the existing.
Okay,
But it's gonna be 8 foot high now instead of 6 foot high,
Well, right now it's 4 foot high
4 foot,
and 16 feet wide.
and he's asking 6 by 16 or 8 by 16.
That's right on there.
well, on here it says 8,
8 by 16.
16.
Okay, I thought I seen one that said 6 by 16, but that's probably just my reading.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, no, they say in the email 6 by 16, so you did read it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I seen it 6 by 16.
So it's 2 foot taller than the old one. Right?
Right.
But the application Mary has, I
Said
think it
8
says 8 by
by
16. And if you look at,
The E,
that makes more sense
yeah,
when you look at the sign.
good
Might have
catch,
been a
Jerry.
typo when you sent the email or something.
I was just sorry.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve them?
Everything good with it, Garrett?
Yeah, as long as you're not going, you know, farther out towards the street, that's gonna be the same width, or. And I would imagine they'll go lower with the sign instead of higher,
That, I assume that.
and I can talk to them tomorrow too and make sure that. That's the plan.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve? Kelly, did you, okay, Kelly moved, is there a second?
Second.
Mike seconded, any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. So that brings us to, the purchase of 2 new mowers. And Derek, what would you like to tell us about that?
They're here. We haven't used them yet, but. Oh, it's really nice. The guy went to Colorado and Idaho to pick them up. So he went way out of his way to do this for us.
Idaho?
Yep,
Wow.
In Colorado?
and he delivered them. So.
And delivered them,
Delivered them to
and
us.
it was all part of the cost.
Will there be a maintenance agreement, or I mean, is that where you'll take it to have worked on it, if you have to have it worked on them?
I think I would, yeah.
Kinda hard to take them.
Yeah, the other place, no, that's, and usually it's stuff we can kind of repair, you know, this, but yeah, no, if anything major, I think we'd be.
No,
best
you
off
bought a
to-
warranty with them.
Yep, 2-year warranty.
That's right. And then the discount they gave you actually covered the warranty.
Yeah, so we got it for.
So they were extremely good to work with.
Appreciate your and Mary's effort on that, and Carolyn, because equipment's really been hard to get.
Yeah, so and I think it's the same one you guys have. It's like a newer one that you guys got too.
And so, kind of forget what's gonna happen to the old one?
We surplus them at the last meeting and they're on the website and the municipal magazine or Facebook.
And
So if you know anybody that's interested, I have them they're sitting outside of the shop. And then just get a hold of me if they want
What did you run into with that one?
it. I didn't run into anything, but I think they use them to push the picnic tables around the park.
Okay, I just noticed, that had to hurt.
Okay,
Because the wheels fit just right.
I was interested, but I'm told I can't, right, Carolyn, unless it were on an auction.
If it goes to an auction, then councilmen can, or
What about
elected
his wife?
officials,
Well,
What's the price on the website?
There's no
That's
price.
There's
No, it's a sealed bid.
Sealed bid,
Oh, when do they do?
June 5th. 2
So-
o'clock before our city council meeting.
So if somebody else put the bid in for Dakota Mill Drain, I'm tiptoeing, I don't wanna get in any trouble, so I can sure use that big old heavy bobcat every.
Garrett, what day did they arrive?
Yesterday.
I thought I saw them come in, that was cool. Both of them on a flatbed.
Yep,
Well, yeah, if it's Dakota Mill, I mean, if they're serious about it, just because you work there does not tie you to anything.
Didn't wanna get in any trouble.
It's personally, you cannot purchase them.
Okay, so with that being said, we need to approve the $36,962.12.
Move to approve.
Eric has moved, Stan seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Right, that brings us to the Wall Economic Development Report. Welcome, Don.
Good evening. Just wanted to have a few things here. We will be presenting a $500 scholarship to our student director, who's Norm Livermont. He has done a very good job on our board. It is nice to have those student directors. It gives a kind of a different look or different opinions about different things. So if you know of any, in the next school year, we'll be adding another junior on. We have a junior and senior is what we normally have on. So we'll have the senior, Norman will be leaving. Quinn Moon is our other one, and he'll remain on there for another year. And then we'll add another junior to our board. So it's been good having them on there. We also have a mailbox project going on. And that is, we've done for every year for a number of years. I'm not sure the number of years, but we have 23 seniors. We got 23 mailboxes. And if there's any businesses in the area that would like to put something in like a letter or memorabilia or just something to urge the students to come back and live in Wall is what the purpose of the mailbox project. And I actually did, and it was actually Callie Ruland's husband who put up the mailbox that he got when he was a senior. So he did actually use his when they moved back. So it is kind of a neat thing. We will be putting them together on May 10th. So if you want to put anything in there, either get it to probably Carolyn or Katie in the chamber office. They're really been kind of working with us on that. Also, the executive director position, we're still advertising, still looking. We are looking into a different solution, but there'll be more information to come. It's really new. I don't know much yet on that. So that'll be future information. Black Hills Area Housing Trust Fund. I might have mentioned it in the past, but it is a $30 million grant. This is at the federal level that was being submitted through Congress. Thune is one of the big supporters of it. And I believe it's been through the Appropriations Committee, and it will be voted on, they're thinking maybe December. But what that will do is it brings that $30 million to the Black Hills area for housing development. And since we're Wall's proximity to the base, the good school that we have a good shot at getting some of that money to help out our housing situation. So we got our fingers crossed for that one to go through. And there are people that have a pretty positive outlook that it will pass. So we'll just hope that they're right. And the last thing I want to just kind of throw out a thank you to Callie Ruland. She has been continuing to help us through, and like we just had a meeting this week and getting us through until we find a new director. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, we need a motion to approve First Interstate Bank, Black Hills Credit Union as official depositories.
So move.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We need to approve Pennington County Current as our official newspaper. A motion, please.
So, second.
Okay, Kelly. And then Mike.
I'll do second. We can have it.
Want to put that in there, Carolyn? Okay, any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, then we did need to designate the mayor to sign all official documents on behalf of the city of Wall. Motion, please.
Second.
Kelly, seconded. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we need to appoint the mayor as emergency preparedness director.
So
Stan's moved. Sherry?
Yeah.
Seconded. Any comments? All,
You did awful good during that blizzard. I don't know how many hours you were here, but.
Yep, honestly, it was not me, it was Carolyn. She carried the ball. So thank you. And so with that being said, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we need to establish a chain of command and location of emergency command center. And that is at the Public Works Building. And the chain of command is mayor and fire chief, assistant fire chief, council president, vice president, public works director, and finance officer. Do I have a motion?
move to approve.
Stan's moved, Kelly seconded. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We have an election at this point for council president and vice president. I open the nominations, or I request nominations for council president.
I would like to nominate Rick Husted as council president.
Okay, Mike has nominated Rick. Any others?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to have Rick as council president. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, I now open up nominations for vice president.
I would like to nominate Stan for vice president,
Okay, Stan has been nominated. Is there any others?
and I'd like the nominations to see.
Okay, it's been moved. Cast a unanimous ballot. Our nomination ceased.
Yeah.
All those in favor, I have to have a second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Kelly, seconded by Mike. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Stan is vice president. Okay, in your packet was also a volunteer list for the fire department. There's 22 names on that list for our volunteer fire department.
I have a question about, how many of those are active here? Like,
6.
okay, I was just wondering.
10 show up for the meeting. And there's 6
Three for the
people.
call?
Yeah, no, there's 6 people, there's usually the same 6 people that show up.
The list
We
is-
have a really good turnout, like on the big fires and stuff, you know, we have a really big, we do get a good turnout for that, but
Thank goodness.
just other calls, we kind of lack on that.
And you were gonna ask a question?
Well, I just was gonna make a comment that look, the list is kind of impressive. That's a lot of people. I didn't realize it was just 6.
Is there anything you can do to entice them a little more?
I don't think so.
Are you volunteering, Kelly?
I've told you a million times, I can't jump up onto those big trucks.
And I told you a million times I get.
Not strong enough.
Okay,
Get out to.
I need a motion then to approve this list of volunteers for the fire department.
So
It's been moved and seconded. Any further comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All
And
right,
just to explain, the purpose of this is they do have their own work comp plan. Excuse me, through the county. But if for any reason that they would be doing something for the city by naming them as a volunteer list, our work comp will kick in and cover them as well.
okay. So item number 27 is a hearing for a new license for 2023-24 on sale, off sale malt beverage and South Dakota wine. Can you explain that why that looks different than the other, Carolyn?
So this is a new license, and it's the Wall Discount Outlet that has applied for it. Because it is new, it has to be published in the paper, that will be a hearing for it, and I usually set that hearing for a council meeting, just so it doesn't need to be a special one. In case anybody has any concerns, they can come and speak at this time for it. After it has been approved and they've been in service for 1 year, unless there's any complaints, I do not need to publish the renewals, and they can just be approved at council meetings like the rest of them are on the list, so.
Okay, so with that being said, do I have a motion to approve the Wall Discount Outlet on sale, off sale?
Can I ask which one that is? I don't,
The one,
By the post office.
yeah, to
No,
the north side of the post office.
the one that used
The
to,
little one.
okay,
Yeah, they called it, they've changed.
They changed the
Yeah.
name and then they
names
changed
with
it back.
Yeah, it was like the,
Snappy Turtle. I think
Snappy
it was
Turtle.
last
Okay.
summer.
okay.
also move to approve.
Okay, Dan is moved
second.
and Mike has seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Then, if I understand correctly, we can approve these on sale, off sale malt beverage and farm wine that is listed Wall Drug Store, Wall Drug Backyard, and Wall Auto Livery.
I will be abstaining from that vote.
Move to approve.
Okay. Stan has moved. Kelly has seconded. Any other questions or concerns? Okay, Rick is abstaining. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so then we have on sale, off sale malt beverages. And that is Loyal Petroleum, Had Common Sense, Sleepy Hollow Campground, Dakota Skystone, Badlands Saloon and Grill, Badlands and Company, Omni Hospitality, Badlands Frontier Cabin, Jackalopes Corner, BJ's Corner Store, Country Store, and State Wall LLC. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Dan moved, Mike seconded. Any comments or concerns? All those favors say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, then we have a special event malt beverage license request from Wall Celebration Rodeo.
Move to approve.
Okay, Dan is moved,
Second.
Barry seconded. Any comments or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We also have a special event liquor license request from the Celebration Committee and a noise permit. And they are, Alicia, do you want to speak to that or? Okay,
Hi, I'm Alicia, and the Celebration Committee, we have in the past asked that the noise permit be waived for the weekend of celebration. And so we would just like to ask for that again for this year, to have that permit be waived.
so that's Friday and Saturday night, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
So,
July 7th and 8th, I think are the dates.
second.
okay, so Mike has moved and Dan seconded. Any other questions or comments for Alicia?
These are covering both the liquor and the noise.
Mhm.
Okay, just checking.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thanks, Alicia. Okay, so then we have a beer liquor garden permits. So is this kind of like all the time permits?
Yeah, that
Not a
they can be
specific time.
outside of the building with the drink, like the Badlands has their patio behind, and the Red Rock has their patio out in front.
What is the golf course do?
Well, the whole golf course outside of the clubhouse.
Have to drive back to the golf.
Just curious.
They have a patio, large one.
Okay, so, now that we've got that clarified, all right. So do I have a motion to approve the, beer liquor garden? Okay, Kelly has moved
Second.
and Jerry seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Nay, opposed, motion carries. All right, so then we have no noise permits for Wall Drug, the Badlands Saloon and Grill, and the Red Rock.
For Waldrug, I will be abstaining and we play music to the water jets in the backyard like where I sat.
Okay, so that's kind of all summer long, all day long, all,
Yeah, and it's, you know, if it gets too loud, let me know, we'll get it turned down. Occasionally it fluctuates a little bit, but we really haven't had a problem.
okay. And where does Badlands Saloon make noise at?
Well,
Oh,
if
in
they
the back.
would have like a band or whatever occasionally on the weekends, you know, or a DJ, whatever.
And they do have speakers.
Yeah, in their
Oh, okay.
patio.
Okay,
And same way with the Red Rock.
Red Rock, okay,
So doesn't the golf course need one or not?
Are you guys really hooping and hollering things up?
There's a few tournaments where there ends up being music, yes.
Yeah, well, but you're not like within the downtown area.
yeah, but you can hear it
Oh,
on
yeah.
Kelly Avenue out there.
Yeah.
I think your name should be on
I
this.
can put
You
that-
just wanna be down there in the middle of it.
I'm not there when it happens.
I can put it on the next meeting.
Well, it might be
agenda to have
just a
that.
good idea to have it.
Okay.
In there.
I just have never, thought about it before and, but yeah.
Okay,
Town's moving closer to you, you gotta get started, right?
yeah. Okay, so with that being said, do I have a motion to approve the noise zone permits? Kelly moved,
Second.
Mike is seconded. Any other comments or concerns? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Mike, would you like to update us on the security camera?
Sure, so I visited briefly with Ron and Ron said he was unfamiliar, he has a few different ideas on how to kind of set some things up, but he strongly suggests that we do kind of like what the state does too, they're kind of standalone. So I got in touch with the state and there's Doug that's supposed to be giving me a call back. Apparently he handles that or knows the provider, and the type of equipment and stuff like that. I haven't heard back from him yet, so
Okay,
as soon as I hear, I will update everybody, so I would imagine maybe just put me on for the next agenda as well.
okay. All right, very good. All right, that brings us to the mayor report then. And it's true, we did have a very great event today with Lieutenant Governor Roden being here. We started at the meat plant, had a fantastic turnout out there. And then came here and did a press conference and had great coverage, as you guys have indicated. As I was preparing my remarks for that welcome and reviewed what Wall Meats has accomplished since 2017, it really truly is amazing. And so it was great to have Lieutenant Governor Roden here to recognize that. And the fact that Governor Noem actually did try to make it, but couldn't make the schedule work without flying. And then on April 25th, we had a pre-construction meeting regarding Echo Valley with the engineers and contractors. And thank you, Rick and Stan and Kelly, for also attending that meeting. They indicated they're going to be starting on May 8th. They were doing some work out there starting Monday supposedly, but today you really started seeing some action.
Did they also make women down today? Because at the pre-construction meeting, they kind of said that they were gonna bring equipment on.
equipment on Monday, but what I did see is that the horse shed has been removed as of today. They've been working on that 2 or 3 days. And that was the Echo Valley people. But tonight, there was somebody there from Simon's Construction that was doing some things about the lift station. So, but on Monday, that is supposed to officially take off. And they are going to incorporate the millings that are coming off the airport. So Stan, thank you for coming up with that idea. And I think they indicated, if I heard right, it should save us about $18,000, right?
I think that's what they said.
So that is awesome to see that finally come into fruition. And Echo Valley did submit $100,000 check of their upfront construction money to Carolyn yesterday. And this was part of the agreement in the contract, that's what, when construction was starting, that's what they would provide for us. So that has definitely occurred. Okay, then as just a brief follow-up of something that I indicated that I was going to do after the last meeting, is I did do, I searched and scrutinized my emails because I was very concerned when we thought that, or that it was indicated that Carolyn and I had lost an agreement. That absolutely was not the case. And I would hope, as you looked at that thread that I provided for you folks, that actually Mr. Parsons made Ms. Trask aware that he didn't have that contract on April 6th. And it was actually April 20th at 5:52 that she brought it forward. And there was confusion on that because part of that thread contained the first and second version of the $5,000 retainer fee. So that's what the first agreement contained 3 errors. And that's why I sent that back to them in January and had them redo that. And that's where the word revision got in there. So that was something I clarified. I also indicated that I would follow up on the contract in the minutes. And I found that the contract was signed with Ms. Trask in February of 2017. And that the minutes in February of 2017 was verbatim with what's in that contract. So the original agreement was 70 cents a mile. It was not a typo. And I also found the document from our very first invoice that indicated the number of miles, the 70 cents per mile, and that total amount was $43.40. I also went back and studied some of the invoices. There seems to be fluctuation, and I'm providing documentation for that. One of the things I have been working with, because of my concern, when we gave approval to the ambulance service to also use our attorney at our expense, I asked that we get specific about who was requesting information and that be reflected on invoices, because the great thing about working with 4 attorneys over the last few years and looking at these invoices is that they always put the date, indicate the description, including the name of who is contacting them and what the length was, as well as what the cost. And so I've encouraged Stephanie to add that to her invoices, especially in light of our indication to the ambulance service that they could use her and we would help pay for that cost. I've got documentation of examples from other attorneys specifically. So if Rick gave Haig a call, it's there. If I called him, it's there. If I emailed Ron Parsons, it's in their description. So this is not anything unusual. So with that being said, so that You have the documentation to review at your leisure. I prepared a folder with that documentation in for each of you that you can review at you, when you have more time. With that being said, that concludes, my mayor report, and that will move us into, Carolyn.
Alrighty, so the planning and zoning meeting has been set for May 8th. All of the members except for one, I believe, is not going to be able to be present. That's scheduled for 8 a.m. here in the community center meeting room. But I know it was kind of talked about doing a follow-up on with the special meeting to do that approval, to not have a holdup either on the 9th, but we do need to schedule it on the 8th because I had forgotten about some medical appointments that I have already scheduled for the 9th. So we will schedule that special meeting at 9 o'clock then, right after the planning.
Right after.
Right after. Perfect.
Exactly, and come early, just in case we go through that 8 o'clock meeting pretty darn fast, because we have a ribbon cutting that day.
We won't be able to start though if I ever.
Oh, that's
We
right.
won't be able to start any sooner than that.
Come on.
I mean, I can set it for 8:30 if you guys want. No, I'm fine with that. I just was given this, if you think 8:30, because I don't.
When's the ribbon cutting?
10 o'clock.
And
I mean,
what's
we
that
can
for?
do 8:30, because I don't think the planning and zoning will take very long. I've sent out the
What's the
information
ribbon
to.
cutting?
Yeah, Stephanie Ballmer is opening up her quilt shop, and she's
Oh,
doing her grand
cool.
opening, and has requested the chamber. And myself will be there for the ribbon cutting.
Awesome.
Well, I can't imagine that we couldn't do it. Yeah,
I'm fine with
that's the only thing on the agenda is,
Mhm.
Right.
You want 8:30, that I just was putting that time down and letting you know that it will have to be the 8th.
if we have to sit around for a while and that's so be it.
So you want 8:30? Does that seem?
And then 9 o'clock, city council.
No,
No.
8 o'clock and 8:30.
8:30.
Yeah, because it's already been published for the 8 o'clock planning,
What
so
is-
that had to be published.
Oh, 8 o'clock planning and zoning, 8:30 city. Oh, that, okay, thank you.
The council meeting just gets 24-hour publication on that, so that can be whatever time. And if 8:30 is good with you guys, I'm good with that as well, so I will.
Yeah, I
make that
can't
change.
imagine planning and zoning taking longer than a half hour.
Okay, that sounds good.
But
And
that's supposed to get coffee and donuts.
And just commented that I will be out of the office May 9th. Pool update, I had advertised for applications to come in until May 8th, which is next Monday. I have 5 returning lifeguards. 2 other applications have been taken out, they just haven't been returned yet. And keeping my fingers crossed that they will be returned. That will give us 7. There are gonna be some dates that I've been notified of some of the lifeguards, needing to take some time off. So we'll see if I do get these other applications. We probably wouldn't have to close during that time, but if I only end up with 5 and 2 of them have to be gone, like they've got something scheduled, we'll probably have to close that week, because that's too few of lifeguards to be on the staff. So just giving you a heads up, our lifeguard situation is kind of slim this year.
They need to be 15 years old. As soon as they turn 15, they could be certified, is that right?
Well, so one of the applications will not turn 15 until June 2nd. The certification program starts May 28th, I believe. I don't have that email, but it's over the Memorial Weekend. They were curious if they could take the certification even though they weren't 15, and I did check with the people who do it, and they said yes, they could come and then, you know, they'll get certified and they'll turn 15 when they're starting to work, so that's one that I'm keeping my fingers crossed will return or get turned back in. The proposal is to open June 1st and then we would close on August 13th. And so at the next meeting, May 18th, and I will probably be sending some of these out to the personnel committee ahead of time after our application timeline closes, of what some wage proposals and all that might look like for then you guys to approve next council meeting, so.
Okay,
And then, I included a letter of, on a concern with the camper on a residential property. I have not sent that letter, because it's protocol that you guys give me authorization to do that. So, I hope you had time to read the letter, and I guess,
Did you get that wording changed? Because
yes, that
I
reflects
noticed
the
that in
new
your letter.
so,
So it's on somebody else's property.
yes.
Should be simple enough. You need a motion?
I need a motion to
So
extend.
okay, Stan has moved,
Second.
and Mike, is it Mike?
Mhm.
Mike seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And that wraps up my report.
Okay, very good. Public Works, Mr. Garrett.
Bobcat, a couple years ago. We had the Bobcat in to be fixed, and I can't remember what it was, the hydrostatic gear went out on it, and I think it happened again. It only has 200 hours on it since they repaired it. But I need to call LJ at Jenner to talk, so I just need some guidance, you know, kind of my ideas where, maybe trading it in without the repair to see what we could get. Or, you know, getting it repaired and keeping it, or, you know, just kind of, and then getting a new one. Because if something breaks in 2 years, there's something wrong, I don't know what.
And how much was that repair on that?
It was about 9,000, 8,000 for sure,
And it lasted 2 years.
200 hours.
Well, that's not good.
And I can't imagine what that repair is gonna cost now. Yeah. And see half that again. Yeah, so I've been, you know, talking with Jenner too, and they agreed to, if we take it up there to see what's wrong, they'll let us have a loaner, you know, to use while they look at it, but I just kind of just need a little guidance on what to do. I'd hate to.
Well, it sounds like maybe it's what year is it?
2010?
10? Maybe we
I
should,
can't remember for sure.
maybe
I
we
should
should trade it off. We just put a $12,000 repair from Jenner into one of our Bobcats.
So
I
I've
mean,
been
fixing them is expensive.
So I've been getting prices too on different options, tracked and wheeled and Kubota or Bobcat or Cat, so I'm just working on getting some prices too, some quotes on those, but you know, it's a pretty expensive equipment for us to use. And then, you know, we talked about maybe trading the. Oh, yeah, and then also since we have the Bobcat Mini X excavator, we have the backhoe. You know, we really don't, we pretty much just use that for moving snow. You know, and it's pretty much useless. I mean, it takes twice as long, and we thought maybe we could try and sell that too, to put it out, surplus it, and get some money there to help with the cost of, you know, a new skid steer, I guess it should stay in.
All right, I mean, that's a piece of equipment that you guys use 12 months out of the year, and I mean, already putting the amount that we have in for only 200 hours, I think. And And how many hours total are on that roughly?
There, 1,700. You know,
I,
that's nothing compared to.
right, but I think that it might be time to invest in, or at least looking into something, because like I said, you guys use that thing all the time.
And so that's where I'm kind of, do we take it and, you know, get it fixed? Or do we, you know, cause if, I don't know, I mean, if we go somewhere else to get something, are they gonna accept that as a trade-in, you know, with needing repairs, or? I just don't know.
What are we possibly talking about?
Well, I was looking at either a Kubota, you know,
What I mean, money-wise.
money wise, I don't. The one quote that I got for a tracked Kubota was 58,000.
But you put 12,000 into one that's 20 or 13 years old,
Yeah,
brings the price down.
I just don't know if somebody else wants a Bobcat that needs repairs.
What, I wondered, and maybe this is kind of crazy, would it just be a good idea just to fix it? Cause then it's more tradable, and then we can use it. I mean, it's hard to trade off something that doesn't work.
Yeah, and I was just, you know, I was waiting for a quote from Jenner also on, you know, there, because maybe they might trade it in knowing it needs repairs more than somebody else would. So that's why I was just gonna kind of, you know, get the quote and compare the prices.
And can you just get the quote, and then when you hear how bad it is, say, well, Dan, will ask them, do I wanna just trade it off, or because their fix it could get a lot cheaper with it if they're gonna fix it for themselves, just resell.
Yeah.
Doesn't the city get a good deal on Bobcats, better than anybody else could?
We get a huge discount on
Huge.
stuff from Jenner, yeah. You know, and it wasn't near as good at the View here, but I mean, they came up with a product for us, so. So that's why I was just waiting to see.
I would say, you know, talk to somebody up there. You know, the symptoms are basically exactly the same as what it was last time. Ask them what they would do, fix trade in, or the way it sits trade in.
Okay.
Let us know.
So I'll just keep researching and let you know next meeting.
And then probably the availability on the one that you're looking for, because if we do plan on trading it in, I mean, we may end up having to fix ours, so we have something usable until we get it.
Yeah.
Or
Or
do you need to do something before the next meeting?
I don't think so. We've been getting by, you know, without it.
Are you gonna price it, you too, or both?
Sure. Yep. So, okay. And then both the wells have been, let's say, fixed. They put new pumps and motors in and replaced everything. We're having issues out at the one at well 4 by the airport. It's a little bigger pump. So when we start it up, we think, you know, like when you drain water, it makes a vortex. So we think it's drawing down too much and sucking air. So we're either gonna have to change the speed or put another length of pipe on to get it deeper into the well. And well 1, there's a problem with the VFD. It's a variable frequency drive. I'm sure it's simple, but I don't know, you know, enough about it. I'm just waiting to call from the drive company that installed it to help me out. For those guys, it is. Most of the time I'll call them like, yeah, just do this. So we're getting closer. And, you know, the water solutions that we went with been great. You know, I called that guy yesterday afternoon. He was here this morning by 10 from Gillette, you know, and helped me out on this one over here, even though it wasn't a something that he did, it didn't involve him at all, so I think I'm glad we got them, so.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
good job.
And so the mowers are here, quarters, and see the weeds are growing. Gonna get busy. Get pool, and Trevor got the sprinklers going today at the boulevard, he has to replace a few heads. But we're gaining a little. Not all I am.
Okay,
You run out your honey wagon? Or
It's for hire, yeah.
so do you hire out them new lawnmowers for that? whole-
oh,
That's like $300 an hour.
Oh, is it?
They're new, so.
all right, are there any other items for discussion that need to be brought to the attention of the council? No action will be taken. Okay, seeing none, next city council meeting will be May 18th at 2020, or at 6:30. And I do believe we do need an executive session this evening.
I make a motion, we go into executive session for the purpose of discussing legal personnel issues according to SDCL 1-25-2.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much for being here this evening and joining. Okay, I call the executive session out. We're out of executive session and seeing no further business for tonight, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So
Stan moved,
Second.
Jerry seconded, motion approved. Or all those in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
8:20.
Before Gary falls asleep.
Yeah.
Carrying him home.
The talent